Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Heyo and welcome today. Today you're just joined by me, Daniel. I'm an artist and illustrator here in New Zealand, creating illustrations, children's books and things like that at the moment. I'm working on my own children's book, and at the moment I've been working on this creature that I drew for Inktober Day 1. So the word was ring for this one, and I had the idea of making kind of this bug that had a ring on in his mouth, kind of a thing, similar to like a nose piercing or something, but except it was kind of this interesting mouthpiece. Which, eventually, I decided to make it into a painting. As you can see I'm doing color at the moment. Usually, I split these videos up into like the first part is, me doing black and white. And then, the second part is me doing like color. And then if I do, it depends, if I do a third part, then it is usually like last little tweaks from there, really defining it in number 3. But it all depends. It's always up and down, sometimes I've had up to 4 videos for something. Sometimes I might have to make another part for a video just to keep things going, keep this YouTube running, and make sure that I get enough done on the piece. I don't want to be kind of a week goes by and I need that time to work on it a little bit more, because if I don't do it for the videos, then I can't really do much on the side. I have to kind of keep this YouTube channel and stuff going, for my own kind of personal stuff. So that doing that keeps me going, and it's always a struggle. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about like procrastination and things like that, scheduling, stuff like that, but mostly talk about procrastination and things like that. That's always interesting and fun to keep up. As each piece that I do, each page or whatever I'm creating, usually it's 2 or 3 videos it creates for each piece. But there are some that I've done in only 1 video. Per se, my traditional works. But with my traditional works, I didn't want to like split it up, so I wanted to have it all in one go, kind of a thing. Which worked out okay. But it was time consuming. I didn't really get much out of doing a lot of traditional work because, with traditional work, you'd have to prepare and everything like that, and then, you need to do it at the best time of the day because of the sun for recording it. You can't like record all day. You need kind of the perfect lighting in the daytime. You can't, if it's too dark, you might not be able to see me painting or things like that. And I didn't have a lot of lighting around me. I don't have all the light resources that I can, have a camera looking at me all day long, without it looking, pretty faded or, things like that. So I couldn't, record me painting all day, so probably go about 3 or 4 hours a day-ish, of me actually painting, if you were lucky. And that is me stopping and starting as well, so it wouldn't be constant 3 hours of work, but it'd be a fair bit of work in there. So it probably took about a month to record that 1 video, and I can't sustain that. sustain doing, traditional pieces every, once a month. They would make it so these YouTube videos would only be once a month. It might be more enjoyable, but it's not winning. But yeah, I deal with procrastination, most of my life. Go back to our topic, to the procrastination. There's always things that kind of I want to do here and there, like play a game or do other stuff, or just like start cleaning or something. Um, we all deal with it. I think, I saw a video the other week, and I was talking to it talked about how, creative people procrastinate. And I feel like it's everyone kind of can procrastinate as well. It's not just, artists, illustrators, creative people, in, the creative field, whatever, or just randomly creative people. It's not just them that procrastinate. I think a lot of people can procrastinate. It's just it is a trait for creative people. Not all creative people have it. Some are like really good. You wouldn't be able to see any procrastination in them. However, I feel like, yeah, with creative people, there's some sort of procrastination. I feel it can be very helpful as well. It's I wouldn't say go as far as leaving everything to last minute, kind of a thing. But just having some time not doing work, and just doing something else that isn't just working and illustrating, creating all the time, doing something else to get out of your head, and coming back to what you're doing is always very helpful. But with deadlines, it is, it's hard to know where to go as well. If you're creating, and then you want to do something else, you do something else, but you got a deadline tomorrow. It's always hard to kind of manage it and deal with it as well. Yeah. With this piece here that I'm creating, I've been working on it for 2 or 3 weeks now. And it's going alright. I'd say it took me a bit longer than I would have liked. There has been a little bit of me procrastinating in it as well. I've had shows that I want to watch. Like lately, I've been watching the Dark Crystal. That series is awesome. I recommend anyone to go watch it, especially if you're into anything kind of fantasy, that kind of thing. It's really awesome. I think even this kind of creature that I'm creating now, it could fit in that world in a way. I've been watching Star Wars at the moment. I'm just going back into that, trying to kind of complete the story, because there are like questions, I guess, that since I watched Star Wars at such a young age, I didn't kind of take everything in. I just watched it, understand the story, but now I'm watching them in order, and the whole story is just coming together. I'm doing that before seeing the final one. But yeah, I like to do that kind of thing. It's great to see that, because I love seeing like all the creatures in these movies. I think I might have mentioned in one of my videos, I went to see Avatar when it came out in the movies, and I was just blown away. As soon as I came out, I just wanted to go home and draw as many dragons as I could, and that's what I wanted to do, and keep drawing, keep creating. It was a big inspiration, kind of push to kind of keep pushing and go in my career. but it's not easy. I want to, get towards my main goals and get towards finishing a piece and all this stuff that I want to do. And there's things that I want to, um, you know, I want to do other stuff as well that, you know, leads away from, my main objective at the moment. I mean, procrastinating is leaving something to the last minute, pretty much. But it's doing other stuff that you don't necessarily need to do. Just because you don't want to. Well, it's not that you don't want to do the main goal, the main objective. It's just that main objective usually is what I see in kind of procrastinating against something. Usually what I see is that either that main objective or whatever you're doing is challenging or somewhat not so enjoyable, I guess. It's there's something to it. I mean, you love it, but it's that you don't want to overdoing it and things like that. And sometimes it's good to kind of procrastinate. You never know. That's what I see. What I see procrastination is. And I mean, I tend to do it a bit because I come up with challenges and things, and even me painting this creature, with the texture and everything like that. Because I'm not painting what I see. There is no bug like this out there yet. There might have been discovered in since I've talked to you about it, or since I created it. Someone might have discovered it, or it might exist somewhere, something similar to this. But for what I know, it's not existent. I do not have a photo there that I can just copy and paste from. So it's challenging. I'm coming up with solutions of how to make this texture, look like texture. Make it feel like the bug I wanted to create as well. And it was very challenging, obviously, and it always is. Each piece I create, everything I create, it now it's more challenging. Sorry if you can hear the rain in the background. Might get a bit heavy. It's been up and down. Like, the weather here has been quite sunny, and then you would have like these patches of like heavy rain. Sorry if you can hear a bit of rain in the background, but that happens. But yeah, it's always challenging, and dealing with these challenges, after like a full day's work, or just be knackered from the day, or actually on weekends when I'm actually working on this a bit more. I've been working on it for a couple of hours. I guess I get, I don't want to keep going on this challenge. I just want a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break. And I end up doing other stuff, so I have my tab open, I have everything ready to go. And then I end up being like, oh, I need to do some YouTube stuff or something, like get my YouTube video out. Which is good. It's fine to get those little things out and get those little things, but then I do other little things like share it on social media, or then we'll play a game for a little bit. Maybe I might edit some videos. Like the other week, a couple of weeks back, I ended up like changing some of the imagery on my YouTube, Facebook, and ArtStation. I ended up changing that. It didn't really need changing, but I was just like, well, I want to update. I want to change this. I wasn't feeling like I was wanting to paint, but I wanted to do something kind of productive, so that's what I did. It was kind of procrastination in a way, but it was, it was really helpful, and I think, doing those little things can be very helpful. It's, I think, fighting it, being like, oh, I procrastinate too much, and then fighting it, being like, I can't procrastinate anymore, I've got to do this, and then trying to do it, trying to fight it, it doesn't really work, it's like, I don't want to do this, and, for months on end, you'll probably end up not wanting to do it, or not doing it, so I think fighting it, it's not going to work. I know myself. I mean, you guys probably will need to learn about yourself and how you deal with things and things like that, because everyone's different. But what I know is that for me, what works for me is that I can't fight it. I've just got to deal with what I can achieve. Some nights I paint straight flat out and finish a painting or something. Like the other night, I managed to work like an hour or two actually straight painting it and finished it, per se. I feel like there could have been more work or something, but I'm pretty much calling it finished, because I can't keep going on it, unfortunately. I'd like to keep going in it, but I've got to keep moving on a little bit. I've got other pieces and works I've got to keep going on, unfortunately. But I feel like I've achieved what I wanted out of the piece. I wanted a good illustration. I don't want the most perfect illustration in the world. I'd like that, but sometimes, getting to that point of spending like 40 hours on a painting or something doesn't make it any better, usually. And sometimes within like the last minutes of a project or something, you come up with the best piece, or best, with deadlines is very helpful to have, because you could procrastinate for hours, and in the last hour you create something amazing. Sometimes it works like that, but yeah, you do have to have some leeway, because what happens if in that hour you actually produce nothing? You've got to, well, what I do is, I always schedule things. I have my time is when Bubba's in bed, which is 7:30ish, 8ish at the latest. And then, from there, I can just chillax and relax for half an hour, either playing a game, or just dealing with some social media stuff, or just something that isn't too full on. Some nights I feel straight to painting. Tuesday nights in particular, because on Tuesday nights I do my streams on here on Twitch, and yeah, I usually just paint. So that's that I can't change, unfortunately. It's my Tuesday stream. That's kind of my ritual. So usually what I do is, straight when I get some time at 7:30, once everything's quiet and I'm ready to stream, I go for it, and I'm streaming and painting. There's no negotiating that. That's definitely the unnegotiable time. And that helps with procrastination as well, because that's like, this is the time that I have to be painting no matter what. And that's always good to have some time where no matter what you have to. It's great to have all these hours where it's like, well, I'll be painting between 7 and 8, and in reality you do something for an hour, and then you only paint for like 45 minutes or something that day, or that night, if you've only got 2 hours a day, or if you've got a whole day with painting, you actually only get like 2 hours painting done. But having some time scheduled that you're like, nah, this is definitely the scheduled time that I will be painting no matter what I feel like, blah blah blah. And obviously because I'm doing the Twitch stream and I have to do it, it gives me that more motivation that, oh, I've got to do this, you know, audience accounting on me, blah blah blah. I mean, it's not really that big, but it's just in my head that's what it feels like. So that gives me that little boost. It's like I have to do it. And it depends on how I feel that night. Some Tuesday nights, I have cancelled once, and that's only because I couldn't really speak. However, I still painted that night, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, just having that little boost. But yeah, other nights I might game for a little bit, or just relax for half an hour, 40 minutes on like YouTube or something, and then I'll start painting. Yeah, but some nights I do just paint. It depends on where I am. If I'm definitely on a deadline, for some videos, some YouTube videos, I have had that deadline, like, oh, I've got to have this video finished by Thursday so I can export it on Friday so I can do the stream on Friday night. It has gotten to that point at sometimes, and that gives me a little motivation as well to be like, oh, I need to keep going, finish this piece. When I do have leeway, a little leeway, say I've got 2 or 3 weeks videos there and ready to go for me to stream with, and I can kind of paint in when I feel and how I feel like it. Then sometimes at that point some of the procrastination can kick in, where it's like, oh, I've got until 2 weeks away, I'm already 3 weeks ahead. And then it does slowly, that gets to me, and then eventually it gets back to that point. So I definitely feel like I've got things to work on there, but I'm always thinking about it. I'm always getting better at it. I used to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning to do an hour or 2 hours painting in the morning, which worked fine for a couple of months, or so, or how long I ever did it for. I think it was 4 or 5 months or something. Yeah, and it wouldn't be all the time, but I'd do it most days. And it worked fine there. I got that hour before work getting the illustrations done, and then be in bed by about 10 or something, 10 p.m. So I still get my 8 hours sleep. I'd just rather paint in the morning or something. But these days that doesn't seem to work because I don't really get up early these days. This time I'm the opposite. I kind of work a bit later, and I don't do anything really in the morning. If I do something in the morning, I kind of just maybe edit a video so it can be exported, or some minor YouTube stuff that I can do, anything like that. That doesn't take too long, but it saves time later down the track. I will do that in the morning, especially if it really needs done. It's happened a few times where I might leave a video per se. So I plan to upload a video usually on Monday night. That's usually the time I upload it to go publish on a Wednesday. I mean, if I'm on top of my game, I then, I publish it the Sunday night. But I do leave it. It's like, I'll leave it till Tuesday night, and then the next thing happens, and hello, it's Wednesday. I've got to get this video uploaded. Blah blah blah. It has happened once or twice where I had to wake up on Wednesday and actually upload it to YouTube. I might have made the thumbnail, might have not. Then I've got to make the thumbnail and edit in everything, and last minute, I have to pretty much get uploaded and everything, and then be out the door off to work and everything. So leaving it to right last minute, sometimes has happened, just because I've procrastinated it. And it happens for those little things because you want to keep painting, keep creating, and it might not align with your goals as well, but it did kind of align with my goals. I want to keep those weekly videos going and things like that, but I wanted to get this painting done and finished, and just me totally procrastinating it didn't help. But I do, when I'm on top of my game, I usually have the video recorded on the Sunday night, then I have it all ready to go to put up on YouTube, and then I'll put it up on YouTube on like Monday night for publishing on Wednesday. That's usually the way I go, but it all depends. Excuse me, if you heard that. So what, we're about midway, I discussed a little bit about, my troubles with procrastination and putting things off to the last minute and things like that. And yeah, I discussed a little bit about me having challenges in my work. It's always great to have challenges in your work. If you don't really challenge yourself, you'll never learn. If you just do the same thing over and over again, and you'll never get better. You just you've got to do and delve into different things. I'm constantly like trying to challenge myself. I challenge myself to bring this piece and actually make it into a painting. Sometimes even with my YouTube videos, I'm like, for instance, like the start of this year, I only just bought the weekly tips in, and that has been really, really challenging to actually keep up with, both actually creating it, coming up with ideas for each week, keeping the videos, make sure they're uploaded before Wednesday, all those little things. It's been challenging to do, but doing them and keeping them up has been really helpful to do. And I've had some awesome videos out of that. I've had some cool Photoshop tutorial stuff that I'm doing. 5 minutes is really short for me to explain stuff and go through things. So it is a little bit challenging to do and keep it up within 5 minutes. Some are a bit longer, which I'm fine with, but I wanted them to be, shorter than these videos, basically. Just something that if someone's coming on my channel and doesn't really like long videos, they could find some weekly tips there. But yeah, it's something that I just started like this year. Obviously, I've had ups and downs with it. Some weeks I'd have like 3 videos ready, but I've learnt a lot from it, and it's been great to do. To keep up with it. The year before that, I was kind of just doing the weekly streams, and even before that, I was just streaming or putting up these videos whenever I could, it's whether it's I have someone to chat to, or it was just a video created. Usually I was just kind of making the videos, then I was trying to find someone to talk to, and so I wouldn't have a video each week. It'll just be when I find someone to talk to, kind of a thing. Which was fine, but it was great to have these weekly things, because one, it it's great to have it weekly, because if I did it weekly, I'd get better and better, more faster at it. Or I'll get better, faster at it, that kind of thing. I'll start learning. I'll keep producing these pieces each week. So those challenges, keeping up the weekly videos, keeping up these weekly stream videos, keeping up these paintings, all those challenges brings me closer to like my end goals and things like that, which is always, what you keep in mind is your challenges. Make sure that you challenge yourself. If I didn't, bring this challenge into, the challenge of me creating those weekly videos while I was doing like weekly streams with artists, then, I really wouldn't learn much, wouldn't have really grown on this YouTube channel. I might have kept on doing the same kind of videos and kept them going, which wasn't really going anywhere, but now that I'm creating more videos, I'm getting better at just like doing these streams either by myself or with an artist, chatting and just kind of making a video flow and those kind of things. I'm getting better as I go along. I've got much to learn. I'm no master or anything. I'm just kind of learning as I go, and it's been great to do. It's always great to have challenges there. It's more interesting if it's challenging for me. I mean, yeah. And that's, also another thing for kind of procrastination. Those things that, doing the YouTube upload, and kind of editing videos and posting to social medias and editing, thumbnails and stuff like that. That stuff is kind of easy for me. It's, I can just, put it on YouTube, write a title, thumbnail. Not too much effort. Not too much. There's a bit of effort and thought into some of these videos and things. So some of them are more challenging than others, but some of them are not challenging at all, and that's kind of also why I think that sometimes those go to the back burner, is because it's not challenging. It's just like it's another kind of chore or something. It feels like it's not a challenge. It's just me doing it because I've got to do it. Got to keep it up. Keep these videos. Creating it is the challenging part. Keeping up these videos. Keep drawing and painting these paintings that I'm doing. They are the challenging part. That what I do the most. But yeah, doing those little minor things aren't challenging, and that's why I feel like, I can procrastinate a lot on those. That's why another thing is keeping challenges up is a good thing to keep you going. It's definitely, having that challenge of doing my weekly videos and these weekly streams every week has, driven me forward. If I didn't put those challenges in place, those goals and ambitions, I would have not had them. I would have not been creating a painting each couple of weeks. I would have just been going steadily on my pace, creating a piece every couple of months or so, and then just doing other doodles and stuff like that. I brought up another challenge because I did Inktober, and that was great. I love doing Inktober. It's great just to do those doodles that are more kind of focused. And now I brought up a new challenge with myself. I started on Monday, and what the plan is that 4 days a week, Monday to Thursday, dependent. Monday to Thursday, dependent on my, there may be a day that I have to do something at lunch, that I may have to change it. So, but 4 days a week around about, which, it's achievable, obviously. I mean, with the Inktober, it was every day, which still was achievable, but really, like, challenging, especially on weekends. With weekends, it was kind of really procrastinated. It was like, we'll leave it to the last minute when I can do it, but I was still trying to do it, I guess, when I couldn't do it, I guess. Like, for instance, I was looking after Bubba, trying to do my Inktober at the same time. It was really challenging to do, but I kept at it. So that was kind of good, I guess, in a way. But yeah, it was a challenge to do. This is still challenging. I've got words every day, so I create 4 words on a Thursday. The plan is, I've only just started, so last week on Friday, I think I decided to do it, or Thursday, one of those 2 days. I wrote the word list. I think it was actually Thursday. It was that Thursday. I wrote a word list. I put the dates, starting from this Monday that's just been. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I wrote those dates there, and then I randomly picked words out of my head. I don't know where they came from. They were just random words that I was thinking of. I was like, oh, I'll do this, do that. I chose like one was like fresh, and another word was light, and another word, I was just coming up with random words. There wasn't any kind of form or anything to it, but I was just coming up with random words. I don't know why. And I'll put those words on the dates, and those are what I've got to draw in that day. So today was light, and I decided to do basically kind of this creature that had this floating light thing, bright light on his nose, and I felt like it was alright. But it gives me that focus that on that day I've got to draw this kind of thing, rather than me just, I've got 45 minutes, I've got some drawing time to do. Okay, well, I'll draw this, draw that. It gives me a little bit of focus on being like, well, today I have to draw something to do with light, or something to do with this. So it gives me a focus. It might not take too long to do that focus, but it's just awesome to have that little focus. It makes me want to draw a little bit longer as well. I might have finished that piece that I've created with the word light. I might have created it, drawn it, inked it, or penned it, or whatever, and finished it. And it makes me want to draw more, and it might just be me wanting to draw just something, a picture of something, but it gives me that motivation to draw more, rather than sit there and be like, oh, what do I draw? So it's really helpful to have that challenge at the moment, and I've kept it up so far, the first 4 days of it, and then tomorrow I'll probably, depend on what I'm doing, I'll probably just be doodling at lunch or something, but I'll be drawing something. Yeah. I'll just be probably doodling and drawing, and just having a relaxing drawing day or something. Or might head home and do some painting on this piece. Well, not this piece, but the next piece. I'm not 100% sure yet what I've decided on, but having 4 days where I am creating these pieces each day, and then having a day there to kind of relax and just draw whatever I want, and then having the weekend is working on the actual illustration. I feel that it works best for me, because on those 4 days, I can get those things done, those words drawn, usually within 10 or 15 minutes, maybe longer if I choose to work on it longer. I mean, it's only been the first 4 days. I may have a piece that I actually end up working on the whole day, the whole hour, and there might be a piece out there that I end up working on for a whole hour doing it, or 45 minutes, or whatever time that I have, and then that gives me another day to either just relax and have lunch and do stuff, or if I do have time for drawing, I can just sketch, work on some of the things that I feel like I'm struggling with, like human anatomy or things like that. And with doing these words as well, I can also choose words like human or anatomy, or I could do words that are challenging to do, or to draw, and make more challenging things to guide me towards doing. So thanks for coming in today. I did chat a little bit about like procrastinating and things. Hopefully you did learn something from me talking about my experiences, my what draws me back and what makes me do more work and things like that. Hopefully you do learn something and then take it into account of what I do, how I do it. Everyone's different. We all work differently, so take everything I say on this channel and everything I say in this video, take it with your grain of salt, and just kind of think about what you want to do, what your goals are, and yeah, anything like that. Feel free to comment down below if you do have any issues with procrastination, or anything you'd like to say about it, on the topic. Thanks for coming in, and yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos. I post twice a week. Thanks for coming in, and we'll see you in the next video. Keep drawing, keep creating. Goodbye.